Boom, this comes in very quick. Bam, trap it. Roll the side. As you do that, quickly pull this, draw this in. Tie him up. He's here like this. I just want to turn him onto his side and get him in a triangle choke. That's what's going to happen. So he's like this. Now, when we start, let me move you around here. So, like that. Let's focus on this. I'm going to take him to my left in this particular case, but my right hand, my right knee is quite important in this case here. So as I'm starting straight on with him pretty much, his head's right in the middle of my gut here. I'm going to grab with my left hand on his belt, palm down, because I get a better grip that way. All right, my personal preference. You can grab palm up, but I think palm down works a little more efficiently for this. And I'm going to cup in here. People say just grab the jacket. I like to get a little cup here, just at the elbow joint, and just cup it in there nice and tight. Okay. Now, as I do that, as I start to like work my hands, he's sensing this. I'm going to drive my knee right on his shoulder, right next to his head. It's like it's like slicing bread or something. It's cutting right into the loaf. And now I've got him here and here, okay? Can everybody see that? All right. Now, so that's the position to start. Now I'm going to let's turn back around so that you guys can see. Okay. Now I'm taking over this way now. So I've done just what I talked about. Just boom. I've got here, and notice his head's here. Now, what I'm going to do is just drive my, now if his elbow's open enough, you can. If it's not, we're going to talk about that later. But if it's open enough, just enough, you can. A good way to do that is actually, of course, jerk him forward and drive that in. And then, okay, and aim your heel in there. Use your heel. Don't just be a hunk of meat. Aim that heel in there. Drive your heel in there. Try to touch your left heel to your right knee. You may not do that, especially if you got short legs. but you try, because that way I've got him really hooked in tight. Now, I have options which way I can roll him. I can roll him different ways, actually. But not the easiest, but probably one of the most efficient ways, and pretty much the basic way to do it, is for me to roll onto my left side here on my left hip area, okay? So I'm going to roll on the shank of the side here on my leg. So as I do that, I'm going to pull a belt and I'm going to lift the arm. So I just boom, like that. Okay, so can everybody come around here and see? So when I pull him over, my next thought is this, okay? I want to keep hold of that belt, keep his body, but then with my foot, I want to start pulling up. And as you get good at this, as you roll him, you'll immediately start pulling up immediately. See how I draw him in? And as I draw him in, I can grab this way, grab the jacket. But I like to grab around the elbow here, pull it in tight, and tie him up. And this bottom leg is like a pillow. He's laying his head on my pillow, which is my leg. Like that, see that? And there's the tie-up right there for the Sankaku. You got a pretty good Sankaku going there because you're pulling here on this arm, and you're squeezing here, and I'm not putting pressure on purpose, but the top of my foot and the back of my knee, the closer I can do that, the better for me, okay? Now, there are other ways to tie him up. You can start tying him up here, you know, Judo key lock, we call it, whatever. Just trap his arm. But as long as you've got this arm here and you can trap this arm, a good way to trap this arm is just grab your own jacket. And I've got him in a pretty good standard sideways application of Sankaku. Let's say for some reason I can't choke him. Okay, for whatever reason he's got an iron neck, but I am able to get him turned. See, at least I can get this, okay? If for whatever reason he's busted up the choke or he's a strong guy, I can still keep a hold of the belt and grab this, and now I've got a pin. So it's a nice setup for a pin too, if you can't choke him.